Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is just a special announcement for those of you that walk alongside me and are part of my membership, part of my community. As you know, within the Mastery membership, we have our monthly transmissions, and these are always very deeply intuitively guided. I always say that all of my transmissions, whether it is vocal, music, whether it is teachings, whether it is programs, whether it is meditations, whatever moves through me is very deeply guided for a very specific reason. It's always very divinely purposeful in its intent. I try my best not to create programs or offerings or music with a strategic intent or with the intent of just creating. There is always a great and deep momentum behind everything that is being brought forward. And so each and every month, as you know, within the Mastery membership, where you get access to all of my programs, all of my music, all of my transmissions, events, courses, etc. Each month we bring through transmissions specifically guided for the community at that specific point in time on their journey. And so each month's transmission is really very different in essence compared to any other month, because it is specific and purposeful for that moment in time based on the energetic momentum around that period of time and surrounding the community as collective. This month, I've been very, very deeply guided to bring forward a healing and an activation and a transmission surrounding the theme of ancestral trauma. This is very, very specific. I don't usually get the specific when I bring through a transmission, because my transmissions are usually very overarching, where it covers a variety of things and we get to the root of many things. But this is very specific in terms of ancestral trauma, specifically related to poverty consciousness, specifically related to hiding one's light, specifically related to possibility or the idea of things being impossible. My music, as you know, is very connected to what I teach. And so each week when I bring through a vocal transmission, is specifically encoded and designed with that frequency of consciousness to support you in your healing based on that specific theme. Over the last few weeks, I believe 2 of my last transmissions, I will name them Vastitude as well as Set Me Free, that I just uploaded yesterday, is surrounding the theme of ancestral trauma and many of the layers that it encompasses or that it includes. And so this short video message is just a calling and an introduction to this monthly members transmission. If you are called to join, whether as a member or whether as an exclusive individual purchase of that transmission on its own, I will most likely upload it next week, the week of the 10th. If I'm getting my dates correct, September, the week of the 10th of September. During that week, the transmission will be uploaded onto the portal, or if you have purchased it individually, it will be emailed directly to you. It will probably be around the duration of 60 minutes or an hour, roughly, and it will be inclusive of a guided transmission as well as a very intense and powerful healing and activation as well. We will move into a very potent portal, a doorway, if you will, that will be opening up in that moment in time, that present moment in time, where we will gain access to or move into that space of presence where we can access all of our timelines, past, present, future, and parallel, and we can begin to make changes from that point of perspective. And so it is not about going into those timelines and going in with the intention of fixing or fixing something that is broken, but rather gaining the wisdom from those experiences, and through the reclamation of that wisdom and that understanding and that resolution, can we then walk forward without the imprint of old. Because when I speak about ancestral trauma, I'm referring to the imprint of old that is still currently very active within your DNA. It is in your bloodline. It has been inherited. It is through your bloodline. And it has been a cycle that has been ongoing through your lineage. And so this can show up in many different ways, and specifically related to poverty consciousness, specifically related to anywhere where we feel disempowered, where we feel that things are not possible for us. There is the idea that you can believe that you deserve something, but if you don't believe that it is possible, it will not show up as being possible. So, for example, I can believe that I deserve abundance, but do I believe that I will get abundance? Do I believe that abundance is possible for me? There's a difference in that frequency, in that perspective, is there not? And so this is where we will move into the finer details of bridging the gap between what has been keeping that imprint active and then allowing for that imprint to be dissolved so that a new blueprint and imprint of your current soul's trajectory can begin to expand and gain momentum. There is also the trauma, ancestral trauma around being persecuted in these past lives, whether through your lineage or whether personally through previous lifetimes of persecution, where we cultivated the belief that we should hide ourselves, that it is not safe to express or be our true authentic selves. And so I want to mention this to you because it is not necessarily about taking the action and saying, I intend on showing myself, I intend on expressing myself, I'm taking action now to shine my light. It is not about the behavior, it is not about the intention, it is not about the action. I remember on my personal journey, I had also gone through a period of time where I realized that I'd kept my light dim for so long. And I then strived to make decisions based on how I can be more expressive with my light. How can I allow my light to shine even more? And so I started making choices in alignment with that, but it still wasn't landing. It still wasn't aligning with the receptivity that was needing to happen in terms of giving and receiving. And what I then realized and discovered is that it was not through my action or my intention or my choices that was still holding the old imprint or blueprint. It was the actual frequency and vibration that I was still embodying. It is this analogy of, if you were to think of a lamp. So you have the light bulb and then you have a lamp shade over the light bulb. The light shines, but the light is dimmed. It is not as bright as it could be. It doesn't shine and penetrate every single corner and every single spot within its view. It shines, but it is still dim. And so there's this analogy, that this example of this imprint being a sort of shade over the light. And so it doesn't matter what intention or action or choice you make, if your energy field, if your frequency, if your vibrational imprint is still unconsciously hiding itself, not illuminating, not projecting outward, not expanding outward. And so what this transmission, this month of healing is going to allow us to do is to remove that lampshade completely. And it's going to serve many of you in many various different ways, in resolving many different areas or layers or aspects of self where this imprint or this ancestral trauma is still very, very active. But it is a potent time now where the thread is pulling. There's a pulling of the thread. There's a deep, deep nudge where the veil is quite thin in terms of this specific trauma. And we're being called forward now, no matter how this imprint, consciously or unconsciously, is impacting you and has impacted you and your lineage and your familial line. There's an opportunity now to almost release many, if not all of that, with such ease and with such grace. Because the container that we will be in is not a container of looking at this from a point of lack, brokenness, needs fixing, needs, we are looking at it from a point of being able to have the opportunity to realize more of who we are at a very, very deep level. To take the wisdom from those experiences and begin to close the chapters of old that has long happened before this very, very lifetime, and then begin walking the path anew, creating new imprints for the generations to come, new, abundant, expansive, illuminating imprints for the generations to come. And so, beloved Master, if you are called to join us in this month's Mastery Members Transmission, you will find the link on our website, or you will find it in the description box below, wherever you see this video. I look forward to having you with us in that sacred container, in the circle of masters, where once again we come home to ourselves in a deeper, deeper way. And we give ourselves the opportunity to be supported in the most magical, easeful way. And this is what this month brings. It brings forth not just the healing of ancestral trauma and the trauma around abundance and possibility and limitation, but it also brings forward the frequency of ease and grace in terms of being receptive to more opportunities, greater streams of abundance in all shape, ways, and forms, whether it's connection, actual material wealth, opportunity, career, business, purpose, gifts, abilities, doesn't matter. This portal this month is quite significant, as is with every month, but this month is very specific in its intention. And so we invite you, beloved masters, if you are called, to join us in the sacred circle. If you would like to join as a mastery member, you will also get access to the last 2 years transmissions, as well as all of my programs and courses, which are, I believe, 8 programs. All of my music, instant download of all of my albums, my meditations, members discounts, and so forth. I love you all, and I will connect with you soon. I'm sending you so much love, so much blessings. Until next time, bye-bye.